Hello guys and welcome to another edition of Rage Against the Dice. As you can see, we're doing another bolt action starter video. Now this is my own personal army because I realised I had too many bad guy armies. I have Japanese, I have German, standard German Grenadier late war, I also have a Fallschirmjäger army. It was starting to look a bit suspicious, so I decided I would go for an early French army. They're a new kit out. They've been out about 6 months, I think, at this stage, and I've been super excited to get in on it, so I finally managed to pick some up. Now, as you can see here, I have an extra sprue, because Warlord are awesome, and when you buy stuff from Warlord Games, they'll send you an extra random sprue. Now, this one, I've got French here, so that's absolutely fantastic. I've ordered some bases separately, and I have another box of infantry coming through, because the French rules are really, really cool. And if I've got 3 units of inexperienced troops, I get a 4th one for free, which means that I need a lot of infantry. So yeah, this starter army, we're going to take a look at it. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to show it built at the end. I'm just going to show pictures instead, which I've stolen from Warlord's website. Now, I know I always say that and I always forget, but I'm editing these videos quite close to when I film them, so I will remember at that point in time. And if not, you can call me out in the comments. So as you can see, the sprue is going to be the same sprue that's in here, so we might as well take a look at it straight away. You get 6 models on there with a variety of choices. We will look a bit more in depth into what they are. But as you can see, you get 2, 4, 6, 12 heads up here, another 12 heads up there. Very similar to my Gentleman's War British, the way you get a lot of different heads, so you can kind of customize and make your troops whatever you need them to be, depend on your time periods and things like that for historical accuracy. Now, we'll flip this bad boy over once we've done this. So as you can see here, it's early war. I do really like this with bolt action. Now, I have opened this just the once to make sure everything was inside. And as you can see from my failed attempt at putting it back, I wasn't very successful. But in this set, you get 36 multi-pose French infantry plastics, which again, that sprue that we just looked at before, very, very quickly and briefly. You get 6 of those with 6 models on a sprue. You get 1 Char B1, which is a medium tank, and that's in plastic. You get the French HQ, which is 2 officers, 1 medic and a radio operator, and they're metal. You can obviously use that radio operator as a spotter also, which is probably what mine will end up doing. You get the French Army MMG team, so medium machine gun team, which is also metal. You get the medium mortar team, which is also metal. You get the French 25mm anti-tank gun, which is also metal, and you get that for free as part of your army. So that's in your army selection. You do get one of those for free, so that won't come within my points. It does mean that I can end up having 2 artillery pieces in one army, which is really, really good in just a standard army. This also comes with a French Army infantry leaflet, which will give you very vague instructions on how to build them and what everything is. Gives you decal, stat cards, vehicle damage markers, which will be those horrific, sorry, they make me shudder just thinking about them, but the cotton wool ones, and also plastic and MDF bases. Now, the MDF base is for the anti-tank gun. The rest of the bases are obviously for the normal models. So what we're going to do, I'm going to pause this, I'm going to bust this bad boy open and get everything out on the table, and then we can look at it in a bit more detail. So as you can see here, first thing to note is the big pile of bases. They're the standard Warlord bases. I'm a big fan of them because they have the little lip. Very good for sanding and things like that. They're becoming my go-to bases, to be honest. Then here you've got the lovely, lovely cotton wool, which doesn't make me yeet at all, with some MDF bases. Now, these are different because you used to get plastic bases with them. So they've moved on from that, and they're now giving you MDF, which is absolutely fine. It doesn't really matter to me one way or another, if I'm honest. You get transfers packed by the lovely Alexandra. I don't know who Alexandra is, but I'm guessing they're lovely because they packed this all for me and everything seems to be there. With your special rules and stat card for your Char B1. So again, older players won't have them for a lot of their tanks. Any of the newer players will already know them because they've seen them previously. So here you can see it's the French Army Infantry and it lists what everything is. So you can use this when identifying your sprue. So the head's up at the top. They are Adrian helmets. 2 is obviously heads with berets. Then down at the bottom there, you can see the head modelled with the 1919 kepi, and then heads with covered Adrian helmets. And yeah, then you've got the heads in the bonnet de police cap, which are these bad boys down there. So yeah, everything's numbered across, and if you are struggling, you can obviously match them up. So it tells you what your different weapons are. So 40, for example, is a right arm carrying your rifle. If you look across at number 30, for instance, that's the arms holding the MAS 36 carbine. So yeah, so it's really, really easy to spot where everything is. Of course, 43 is a SERP in a sheep. In sheath, not in a sheep. Wow, I can't read today. But yeah, so if you are new to the game, you still can match everything up. You can see number 26 is your VB launcher. Number 27 is your arms carrying a rifle again. So yeah, so it's really, really easy to spot. As with all of these sprues, you get little extras like your backpacks, bread bags and things like that. So you can customize your models a lot more detailed. Here, we have the rules for the Charby one. Not the rules, sorry, the build instructions. And I'm very much looking forward to getting this built. I know in a previous video I've said I didn't like building tanks and things. However, I have discovered I really, really like Warlord's tanks. However, I don't think this is a Warlord tank. So we might need to do a follow-on video to see whether I'm going to complain about this thusly. Or whether I make Sparks build this for me. Only time will tell, but I will let you know. I actually think, looking at this stuff, and that I do want to get it built, I might actually show you guys it built afterwards, because how I'm going to build my armies and things, so it might be worth it. So, first thing we're going to do is look at the medium mortar team. I'm just going to maneuver this so you can see. If I could open a baggie. Oh yes, that's the skill level we're at now. I can't even open a baggie. Now this is packed by Stu, so thank you very much, Stu, if you're watching from Warlord. I very much appreciate the work you do. If there's anything missing though, I will retract some of that, but in my experience there isn't. So mortar teams are a 3-man team. You got the guy covering his ears, one loader, and another guy also covering his ears. Frenchman, what can I say? What can I say? But yeah, these aren't new models. These are the metal models, I believe, that already existed. It's only the plastics that are new. If I'm wrong, someone in the comments will tell me. No doubt. No doubt. But yeah. So, let's have a look at him. I love that guy. Look at that mustache. Now, that is a mustache. He could be my favourite guy. We won't look at the mortar itself, because I believe they're very similar to some of the other mortars. Yeah, a lot of flash on this model, but again, older metal models, you expect that. And then we look at this guy. Only the one with a mustache. We obviously know who's going to be my favourite then. Mustache for life, that's what I say. Next thing that we are going to look at is the HQ metal. Now, I really like the fact that it gives you the full metal HQ, because when I bought my Germans, as you'll have saw from that video, and I know because it did quite well, Stu packed this as well, so keep up the good work, Stu, you are nailing it. Everything looks like it's here, so if people could, give Stu a thank you in the comments, I think he'd be very happy with that, or he wouldn't care, but I would at least feel nice for it, so that would be much appreciated. But yeah, with my Germans, I had to build my command out of plastics. I did then buy the German command separately, but it is always nice when you don't have to do that. So I like this guy. So as you can see here, he's got a bit of flash on him, without question, but he's got a cigarette in his hand, he's got a pistol in the other hand, and a mustache, suitably mustachioed. As we've previously established, very pro mustache. That's something I'll have to look into at a later date, but then you get a guy with... Sorry, I get obsessed with the flash. I know I shouldn't rip them off on camera, but I can't help myself. So yeah, so there's your other officer. Then we've got the medic with his medical bags. I like that model. And then here we have the operator. Comes with a little phone. As I said, he can be used as a spotter, and then he gets his little doofer there. So that's pretty cool. I really, really like that. So next thing we're going to go across to is the Metal MMG team. Now, I don't know if I've mentioned this to you before, but I'm going to be real with you guys. I absolutely hate building Metal MMG teams, because usually you have to bend the legs of the machine gun to get it to go together. I hate it, but I'm a builder nonetheless, because I love medium machine gunning people. Once again, Stu, you're doing a fine job. Keep up the good work, sir. Let's have a look what Stu's packed for us. Oh, Stu, once again, you're nailing it. So we have the gun itself. A little bit bent. I don't blame Stu for that. I just blame the fact that it's metal. I'll have nothing bad said against Stu for this. But yeah, look at those legs. Flailing all over the place. I'm going to have to bend it even more than usual. I'm just griping for the sake of griping, let's face it. So, you have the city down guy, who has a separate arm, which is here. Now, you get 3 men with this, but as I believe... Oh no, your medium machine gun team is 3 men. Just ignore me. I was just going to go off on a tangent. But it's the artillery piece. Should only have 2 men, but you get 3 with it. So yeah, so you get this next guy, Crouchy. Again, staunch, strong mustache there. His mustache game is on point. This guy is pointing over yonder, saying, shoot over that way, please, because he's very polite. Now we're going to take a look at the 25mm gun. Now, I don't tend to use artillery a lot with my Germans, or my Japanese, or even my British, because they're very deserty. That's not how they roll. But these guys are going to be all about the artillery. Now, Simona, thank you very much. Your work, as always, much like Stu's, is invaluable. Thank you so much for packing these. I'm proud of you and everything you do. I'm at this stage not even sure if I'm being sarcastic or I just appreciate the work that these guys do. But these models always arrive. They're always in good condition. I've very rarely had a mispack from Warlord, so I think I'm actually being serious, but who knows. But yeah, so you get 3 models here. You get one guy who's got a little loadery bit. You got one guy who's crouching. Looks like he's stroking the floor. Maybe that's the kind of thing he's into. Then you have a third guy here who's got even more ammo and a rifle. Now, what I could do is I could use one of those loaders for one of my normal infantrymen to load up one of the other guns. Or I could put him on a base separately and I could use him for some... I could put him on a base and I could use him if I need to, if the rules get amended so that that's now a 3-man team. But from what I can see in the rulebook and from what I can see everywhere, it's a 2-man team, but you get 3 models with it. So maybe there was a rule change at some point. I really can't remember. I never played French in 1st edition. Someone in the comments will probably be able to tell me though. But yeah, there's all the bits for that. I'm very much excited to get this built and get on the go with it. We've already had a quick look at the sprues. We're not going to delve too much into it because it's just the same stack of plastic. And as I said, I have another 30 of these models coming. So by the end, I'm going to be really sick of this. So what I am going to do is I'm going to pause the video here. I'm going to go away and I'm going to frantically build models. As I said, I wasn't going to. I was just going to show you the look of them from the site. But because of the way they can be armed and things like that, I'm going to build them so that you guys can see them, so that we can look at the different types of guns and things like that. I think it looks much better on a model than when we look at them on the sprue. I'll show you the different heads and why I've used such heads. What I will do is by the time I actually get all these built, the other 30 will have probably arrived and I'll build them as well. So the second part of this video will be a bit more of a look at my army, but it will be looking at the models that come in this set at the same time. So we'll look at all the stuff that comes in here. I'll also show you the other models and you can see, you know, what I've armed with what and why. But yeah, guys, so I'm going to be back in, for yous, minutes. For me, it could be anything up to a month because I'm absolutely terrible when it comes to building models. I love building models, but I don't do it quickly. But yeah, guys, back in a bit. Well, guys, it took 3 days. It took a lot of plastic glue. It took some conversion-y bits. But here we have it. This is everything I own for my French so far. Now, obviously, we did the unboxing of the starter set, and I have added an extra infantry set in here, so an extra 30 models. 36 if you count the free sprue. So what I have here is everything. We're going to have a look at it. So the first thing we've got is 4 different units of inexperienced troops, each with the different types of heads. And each of these are armed exactly the same. So, 1 second. So yeah, with this, we have a light machine gun team, and it's 12 models in total, as you can tell from there, which is the NCO and 11 officers. Now, one of those officers comes with a pistol. Now, where's the pistol guy? Obviously, each unit has one. There's the one for this one, for instance. And he acts as a loader for the LMG. There's also a VB launcher in there. And as I said, that's all 4 units are exactly the same. So that's, 48 models. Obviously, we have the B1 over the top there. We have the medium machine gun and the medium mortar, both of which have some extra bits on the bases just to show facing. And because I want this army to feel like a very static, holding the line kind of army. So then again, with the U25mm gun, I've got that there. I've got a stack of logs on there, and I've got some, other little bits, some sandbags and things like that. They're just from Renedra, and it's just to give it that fortified kind of look. There's a bit of a sandbag thing going on at the end. And then here we have another unit, which is a regular unit, but is armed pretty much the same as my inexperienced. The reason I've got 4 inexperienced units, obviously the French rules. I know I say obviously all the time. It might not be obvious if you don't know the French rules, but you get, for every 3 inexperienced units, you get a 4th one free, I believe. And then here, we have a slightly different unit. Now you can see it's only a 10-man unit, and that free model that I was talking about, remember how I said you get a 3rd model with your anti-tank gun? With your artillery piece, but you only need 2 men. Well, I've used that one as a loader, because with my chasseurs, which is a 10-man infantry squad, this has, the 4 rifles as standard. It has a submachine gun, and that is on my NCO. You can see him there. It still has the VB launcher, but then it has 2 light machine guns, so I needed an extra loader. So that was the chap there. And this is basically my 1,000 points plus this unit here. So I have some extras. Now, in terms of the set, I still think it's a really, really good set. Obviously, you get the free artillery piece, which you do get as part of the French, and you get enough troops to do 1,000 points worth easily. I didn't look at, my 2 HQ squads here. So I've got, obviously, the 2 metal models, and then 1 extra guy I've made up who also has the SMG. So that's 2 SMGs and the officer with a pistol. And then here we've got the medic, who I stuck an extra backpack on just to make him look more medic-y. And I've given him 2 extra models there to protect him, and they both just have rifles. And as I said, that fits within my 1,000 points. Slightly less than, I think it's like 5 points under, but I have no way to give any upgrades or anything like that. And that's including the free unit. So yeah, this unit here is obviously just an extra unit because I had the extra models, but I can obviously fit those in and change other things out. But you can easily build 1,000 points out of this starter box. Now, that being said, these guys are just regular, by the way, and that has to be a 2nd lieutenant. It can't be a 1st in order to get my 1,000 points in. And the spotter, which, of course, comes with the HQ set, is with this over here. But yeah, so it's a really good start. I am going to bulk this out with some other things. I definitely want to get one of the howitzers, preferably the medium, but it all depends on who I'm playing and things like that. As you can see from the weapons teams and stuff, I have put sandbags and things on them. I am going to add little bits to these bases as well to give them that more fortified feel. So whether that's the odd sandbag on them or whether it's some rocks and rubble and things like that, I am going to give them a little bit more flavour to them. But this is what you get in the starter. Now the tank, did not enjoy building that, I must confess. It definitely didn't feel like a Warlord tank, from the type of plastic down to how it was to put together. It went together really easily though, in fairness. I've got my turret still moves, you can see there, but it has that cheaper feel, which let me think about it, the Puma had. It doesn't feel as good a quality as some of the Warlord kits. My Gentleman's War British, all the vehicles I have for that, including my Matilda, they're all specifically Warlord Games versions, and they're really, really good. That being said, it came in this set. The set's fantastic value for money, so I'm not going to whinge all that much. But yeah, guys, so this is the army. This video obviously will go up. The next couple of videos, I believe, are going to be painting-based videos. How to paint a late war German grenadier, how to paint a Japanese infantry, and then I think the third one off the top of my head is how to paint a bamboo fighter, again for the Japanese, but I can't recall in the order I filmed them, so you'll have to not hold me to account on that. Like, I ever keep my videos consistent in terms of when things go up and when they don't. But yeah, guys, if you can do the usuals, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Bolt Action's a game we're really, really proud to play. It's a game that we love to build models for, and although the setting itself obviously is still relatively quite recent, I know a lot of us have grandparents and things like that who actually fought in World War II. I think the game system is so strong that, you can't help but get invested in it. This is, without question, one of my favourite tabletop games of all time, and I think Warlord have done an astounding job with this particular French kit. Obviously very mold line heavy because it's a plastic kit, but a lot of options, a lot of choices on there. As I said, you get SMGs, you get LMGs, you get the VB launcher on the sprue, you get a lot of different heads, you get the smoking arms, you get a grenade arms, you get guys carrying their rifles, you get pointing hands. It's a very, very nice kit. I'm probably also going to put a lot of extra, side bags and things like that on these guys. I've started to do it on some of them. I don't know if you can see any off the top of... Yes, you can see down there. And he's got some there. I'm going to fill out these and give them a bit more customizableness. Obviously, they've got trench tools and things like that. I'm going to put some of them on. Might even stick a bit of stowage on the tank. I'm not sure yet. Again, leading into that, I want them to be very fortified. So the stowage would probably be on the tank, things like sleeping bags and stuff, because they'd want those. If they're going to be hunkered into a place, they probably want to take shifts on sleeping and things like that. I don't know. I'm going to do my research, as I always do. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate the support you guys have shown on our Bolt Action videos so far. As always, pray at the dice gods, hope they smile upon you, and take care. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.